This is going to be hilarious. Ha ha! Hello, my friends. It is I, Alphinius Goo. And I have friends here all over the place. Camera Mandy and Adam behind the camera. Because Camera Mandy's bailing out early. Go take her niece somewhere or something. I don't know what it is. Some kind of a party, right? And then we have Alexander, who's going to talk about our new websites.
That I will
Alexander.
be. Hello.
And then we have Carrie.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about
This is for the chat.
Chapter 5, Legends, Lore, and Libations, the website 2, and all kinds of other things. Hope you're doing great this morning. Happy Saturday. We also have Paul, who's going to join us, at least we think he's going to join us. Here's the thing. There's a thing called vMix. If you know what vMix is, I don't. But there's a thing called vMix. And apparently vMix is only talking one way, not two ways. So when we switch it so that we can hear Paul, then Paul can't hear us. And when we switch it so that Paul can hear us, we can't hear him. So we have him on this magical device, the cell phone, yes. But I can't hear him yet, so I don't know if he's on there at all. Yes, this is what I do not know.
Not currently sitting at his desk.
He's not even sitting at his desk. Well, anyway, he's looking for earbuds or something like that to be able to make it work. Anyway, we are very excited about the show today. We have a lot to talk about. We are going to do this wonderful terrain thing with Paul. We're going to talk about the new website. We're going to talk about the Black Friday sale, right? Which is really all month long, right, Gary?
Oh, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yes.
There's some crazy sales that are on there.
Yes, you know this because you programmed them.
I did.
Camera Mandy is waving at me.
Yes,
Camera Mandy.
Okay, hey everyone. This is Adam, my husband, and I was supposed to show him how to use vMix, but we got distracted with call problems with Paul call problems. And so if the stream is totally wrong, it's not his fault.
It's totally Adam's fault. Yes, completely. No, it's really Camera Mandy's fault, right?
He's going to do the best he can. It's not his fault.
Say hello, Adam. Say hello, Adam.
Hello.
I love you all. I'm going to go spend a special morning with my niece.
This could be a disaster.
It probably will be. And it's like the most complicated stream ever. But you guys got this. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, Camera Mandy. Look at her bailing out. She's running from the foxhole, right? The bombs are falling everywhere, and there she goes. Oh, yes. Goodbye, Camera Mandy. Oh, God.
To quote my coworker,
yes.
Who was that?
Yeah, did someone just walk across the screen? Goodness gracious. Adam, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing good. I think I know what I'm doing. We'll find out, though.
Well, the thing is, I'm still trying to see if I hear Paul. I don't know if I think he can hear us, but I don't know. Is he at his desk yet?
He is not.
So he's still seeking earbuds. That's
still
what I think
running
he's going on.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Adam, here's the first question. Did she tune you up so we could do the social media thing?
Yes, I think I can figure that out.
Wow. Wow. Camera Mandy's standing in the hallway like a doting mother.
With all 6 seconds of training.
Hovering, yes, she's hovering.
Paul is back on, so maybe we try that one first.
All right, Paul.
He's getting on. He's not quite there yet.
Paul.
I don't know if he wants us to display his arm to the world.
No, we don't. Just can he hear? The real question is he needs to talk.
Well, you need to switch over to. Yeah, go ahead and switch over.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, we're
Remote
switching
guest.
over, Paul. Here we go. We're going to see if
Cut.
this works. Paul?
Whoa.
Can you hear us?
Testing.
Oh,
I can hear you.
We can
Well,
hear you.
the phone.
Can you hear us?
To the phone, yes.
Yes, of course, with the magical device. Now, the real question is, can everybody else hear you, right? Are you looking at the chat, Adam? Is anybody?
Yes.
Everybody, is
You hear
anybody
me?
still here?
We are waiting for folks to respond. We hear Paul, they say.
Yay!
Great.
All right. Well,
Wonderful.
Paul, then we are going to do this first. So I don't know if y'all know this, but Paul has come and hung around with us in the Gooey Den for some time, along with a number of other marvelous terrain people. And y'all know that I'm kind of a terrain freak. You know, I've been, in the Paul, you are too young. But in 1989 or something like that, 1990.
I was alive.
Well, yeah, but you were tiny. You were a little bitty. You were bitty. So I get a phone call from my dear friend Chris, who tells me, you need to check out something down at Games of Berkeley, which was my most favorite game store. And I walk into this Games of Berkeley, and there on a shelf is a white box about this big, right? And on the side it says Dwarven Forge. And I'm like, what is Dwarven Forge? And they have an open box, and we begin to look at it because we had been using dominoes as our walls, and then whatever we happened to have from a HO train set or whatever for little terrain things. That's what we did. So that was the beginning of my journey into this madness of terrain. So Paul, tell us about yourself. Tell us how this happened, and then we're going to show a lot of pictures, and we'll talk about terrain a little bit, and we're going to talk about the terrain is not the most necessary thing. It's only if you're crazy like us. So go ahead,
Sure.
Paul. Give us the rundown.
All right. Well, my name is Paul Hostettler. I got involved in D&D back in the 1990s. It was actually the Diablo 2 Collector's Edition box set. Had a pair of dice and a module in it, and I just couldn't get enough of it. So from then on, we did third edition. I got in the beginning of third edition, then 3.5. We haven't talked about fourth, and now here we are in fifth. And I think I have D&D Now or Next or whatever the next one coming in.
And so then how did this terrain thing begin, right? Because obviously somebody's, it's not just a module and dice. Suddenly you buy something, a tree, a wall, what happened? How did this begin? Or did it begin with miniatures first?
So, like most people, I started out with the old Chessex
Yes,
grid,
the battle mat.
the battle mat with weather race markers. And what I used to do is I would take those little bags of shiny polished stones that you get at like zoos and road stops, and I would just go ahead and throw them out on the mat and be like, okay, here are the trees. If you see a rock, it's a tree. And then maybe I would grab a soda can and be like, all right, here's the dragon, and you just kind of improvise. And then as I got further along into my adult life, got some income. The collection starts to grow. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. I would buy.
There's a bit of
terrain here.
OCD that is required as well. I think this is very important. You have to be a little OCD, right, Paul? You got to kind of, oh my gosh, I have 14 trees, but I really need 2 more.
So the next bit of terrain I got was this is actually something called Dungeon Stone. It's from a producer out of Houston, and I got it at the Alcon convention. So I bought a couple dungeons, and it's kind of a ceramic, very heavy, and if you hit it the wrong way, it will shatter. So it was heavy, it was a little fragile. I had to keep it in like foam boxes. So I would play with this every so often, something special. And I'd buy the old like D&D chainmail miniatures and start up a collection of the minis. So you had the battle mat. Occasionally you'd have some dungeon terrain. And that's how it was for a while. But I spent 3 years in Korea with the Army.
Thank you for your service, my friend. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And then I medically retired out of the Army, and that's about the time COVID hit. And COVID came, and I lost my mind. I got into 3D printing. I got into Dwarven Forge. I got into WizKids. You name it, I was shopping for it. So if I can, let's see. One of the things I got was these dungeon tiles.
Yes.
These again have like a weather race component. You can kind of fix them together.
Yeah, you put them together, and these are not as fragile as the ceramic ones. Yes, which is what the Dwarven Forge was done originally. That was the first that they were more ceramic-y, right, when they first came out.
They used a resin, and
resin,
I have some of the OG resin in the other room over there.
Yes.
And so the next thing I did was I went online. I'm like, okay, Amazon, show me what terrain I could have. You end up with things like this. So really cool little tower. I used to use this for a Durn's instant fortress. So I just slap this up on the map and be like, hey, here's your fortress. But this thing, it's kind of bulky and it's just a one-off thing. You can't really play inside it. So it's more like dressing. So then I went to, I got into 3D printing, pretty hardcore. So I found like individual like printing dungeon tiles. My problem is these things are super light.
Yes.
And they slide. So if you put them on the map, they're just going to go all over the place. But you can do some really nice things with 3D printing.
Yeah, look at that.
So this was a building from 3D layered scenery out of their Kickstarter called Lyckheim, which I consider to be the gold standard of like medieval fantasy buildings. My wife went ahead and did the paint job on this. Has playable interior space.
Beautiful.
And, oh yeah, gorgeous. So that's with an FDM printer. FDM, they use a PLA, which is kind of like a cellulose plastic string that they melt and lay down like
so
a
let me
glue gun.
interrupt you for a second, Paul. Since we're talking about this, for people who are out there who are maybe thinking about this, because honestly, 3D printing probably enables a lot of folks to get into terrain without it just destroying their finances, right? It's still not inexpensive hobby, but obviously it is not the same as buying one piece of wall and floor for $3 or $5 or whatever it happens to be. So it does offer economies. So tell us, so there's two different kinds of 3D printers then. There's the FDM and there's the resin. So can you give us a little explanation of the two of those?
So FDM, like, for $20 or $10 based off of when you're buying it, if you're buying it in bulk, you can buy a kilogram reel of filament that'll print out like a building like that. So extremely cheap. The only problem is you have to buy, you either have to buy a 3D printer or know someone who has one. Every floor of the building can take 2 to 3 days to print out. So you're talking about months long process to print out a whole, a building or two. It's light. There's a big learning curve, so you have to learn system maintenance, system configuration. It can be very frustrating at times. I have like a whole drawer full of failed prints that are just kind of like a testament to a learning process. But once you figure it out, once you dial it in, once you maintain it, you can get some really amazing. Like I have on my Flickr page, I have a number of 3D prints I did, both of medieval villages, and I have an Asian castle. So you can do some really impressive things. But again, there's a time commitment and there's a learning curve for that.
So that's
FDM, and then there's resin.
That's
right?
FDM.
So how does resin work?
Resin, I'm going to blow your mind here. So look at the detail on this.
Wow.
Like resin, you can make some amazingly detailed miniatures that have like freestanding bits and all kinds of crazy geometry. Here's one that my wife painted up.
Oh, that's beautiful. Isn't that nice? Adam has just butt in.
I tried and you talked over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even hear you.
No,
I got these goofy things in my ears, so I apologize.
We had a question in the chat. Kentori was asking, what do you do with the failed prints?
Yeah, they could be corruption miniatures. Yes, go ahead. No.
I've done that. I've taken a blowtorch to them and be like, okay, well, here's the keep, and now here's the keep after the fire giants got through with it. I've chopped them up and used them as bases for other minis. So, for example, one time I printed out an Anubis for my, nephew. And I took an old failed floor plate, I painted it in sandstone, and I glued the mini on top of it, and it was amazing. So you're never quite sure when a failed print could come in handy. Actually, a bit of a sneak preview. I'm going to be using resin supports, painting them in mirror, and doing kind of a I don't know if you know Magic the Gathering Mirrored.
Yes, of
kind
course.
of a mirrored mechanical type of plane. So that's something, that's a future project I'm working on right now. So you can repurpose a lot of your failures and a lot of your supports to do some pretty amazing things. Here's a mini from my resin printer.
Oh, goodness gracious, look at that. Who made that one?
Jeez.
Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I have them on my miniature factory. Usually what I'll do is the day before a game, like if I need orcs or if I need elves or if I need an aboleth, I'll type it into my mini factory. If I don't already have it on like a Patreon or a Kickstarter that I support, and go ahead. Like resin printing is actually pretty quick. So, and like a lot of people, if they want their own personal mini, they can go on like Hero Forge, customize their own mini. They email me the STL, I print it out, paint it up for them, and boom, it's on the table. It's great.
Wow.
And you can do that in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. Like it can be like the day of game. Oh my gosh, I want this. Hit the print button.
And we have another question.
Another question. Hold on there.
Sorry, just asking, what printer are you using for this?
So for my FDM, I have a pair of Prusas, and I have a Goo. I believe it's not Mercury 3, Neptune 3. And then for my resin printer, I have a Goo Mars 2 Mono Pro and a Saturn 2.
Got it. So you actually have 3 or 4 printers?
I have 6 printers.
6 printers.
2 of them are online right now. Like my FDM printers are kicking my backside. They're all like offline. They have mechanical issues, huge headache. But then again, I bought used, so I don't recommend buying used.
Yeah, I've actually
you're just
heard
buying
that
somebody
myself.
else's problem.
Yeah, because the thing is, people also you have no idea how they've done their maintenance, how they've taken care of those kinds of things. But honestly, it is, of course, you have to be able to afford the printer. But I have heard people who have gone in together, like, 3 or 4 people who wanted to make terrain. They go together and they buy a couple of printers, and then they all work together using their printers, which really reduces the cost and really allows people to enjoy terrain at a different level than versus, you want to have a good collection of Dwarven Forge, as an example. It's going to cost you some bit of money, and the others as well. It is, I'm a Dwarven Forge freak, since 1990, right? And I love it. And also, I want to understand too that there's no right or wrong way to play this game, right? Some people actually think terrain kind of gets in the way, right? They prefer to just play with paper and pencils and little scraps of paper or dice on the table, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, right? It's all theater of the mind.
Well, I mean, and there's really, I like you kind of like lawful good, chaotic neutral. That sort of. The two axes I look at D&D players are you here for the collaborative storytelling, or are you here for the mechanics of combat, of rolling dice, of movement? I mean, are you more of a war gamer, or are you more of a theater kid in what you're trying to get out of the game? Now, terrain should serve that. As a DM, you're providing an experience for your players. As a player, you're looking to experience things with a group of like-minded individuals. So the terrain has to serve that. Like, is it helping your storytelling as far as enriching what people imagine, what they see? For example, I have this. I got Shadows of Genzicon.
Oh yes, a marvelous adventure from what's the company that made that? There, who made that?
I don't know.
Who's the company?
Like,
is there
like Slimy Box or
something? Square of Glob.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you have something like this, where you have, like, say, a map, where then your player, if you blow this up, you can use it, and players with their minis can actually help navigate. Because it's one thing to say, I go to the room on the right, second to the left, we hang a right, we flip back around, and players are like, okay, I can't conceptualize that well. Like, if you tell me about the beautiful mountain spring, I can see that all day long. If you're telling me architecture, that I kind of just see. And when I'm throwing a fireball around a corner, like, will that hit 3 goblins or 2? You kind of need a spatial indication of how that's going to work.
Yes.
And then you have things like beautiful artwork. So yeah, I can tell you all about this lovely lady here. We're here.
Mayor of Mandy, yes.
Yeah, she's wearing a hat and a parasol. And, like, that may look like something to you, and that might be enough. Or maybe I prop this picture up, and you're like, oh my gosh, she has this jewelry. Or, yeah, I guess a lace cravat. I don't know what you call that. These earrings.
What's
and
that
so a player could be like,
hold on, Paul. What's that thing around her neck that's kind of lacy?
The churka?
Churka. It's a churka. Choker. I thought it was a churka. I don't know. She's English, She has
Churka.
Well, that's what it sounded like. I don't know what a churka. We have to make that up.
Your ears work?
I have these goofy things.
Choka. Choka.
This is a choka.
The best part about this is that we can hear everything they're saying. They cannot hear a single thing.
I know.
Oh no,
Poor
we can't
Carrie
hear
and
a
Alexander
thing.
sitting next to me cannot hear you at all, Paul.
We're going off context.
We have to read lips here.
Well, thank you for showing Shadows in Genzicon. That was very nice. I hope you like it. It's a fun, it's a fun adventure.
so a player could be like, I pickpocket her earring, and I'll be like, earring? He's like, yeah, look at your picture. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess she has earring. All right, roll me your sleight of hand check. Same thing with terrain. They could be like, all right, I pick up the rotted log. And, like, this rotted log. Yeah. Well, I just put there because it looks nice. But if you actually want to use it as a makeshift bridge or as a battering ram, or you want to crawl inside it, or you want to hide your gold in there, like, as a DM, there's only so many, like, facets of your world you can have running through your mind at a given point. The terrain can kind of do some of that lifting for you by giving something that your players can observe without you spending a half an hour describing every tree branch and every rock. And also give the players things to kind of stimulate you as a DM. Hey, there's a foxhole over here. I'm like, well, I guess there is. Well, there's a kit with, there are 3 kits in there, apparently abandoned by their mother. What do you want to do? Oh, boy. And the players can just take that and run with it.
Right,
so,
and that gives you that improvisation opportunities, right? Because really that's sort of the key of the whole thing is not necessarily having sort of tracky sort of, you're going to do this no matter what, right? Some of that is part of the game, but some of that is also just letting players do what they want to and kind of responding to it, right? So that, and I do believe, I agree with you that terrain can really add to the experience. Now, interestingly, around my table for many years now, we don't pre-build a lot of things. We'll pre-build some things, but I'll take the map and put the map down and say, this is what the room and such looks like, read the description, and then a couple of my players will actually build that room, and they will actually construct the dungeon as we go forward. And they liked it, right? They really enjoyed the opportunity. Also, it, of course, makes the table much more efficient, because you, if they do something you didn't expect and go down a hallway you didn't plan for them to do, or go down a stair or a hole or whatever, you aren't sitting there with a whole dungeon build that you have to move. Now, do you have multiple tables, Paul?
I have 2 tables that are full of build. So this one right here, I can't really pan back out of it, but there's a huge castle over here. There's a waterfall. There's a tower keep over here. There's a forest. It's expansive. And that's one of the drawbacks of terrain. Is sometimes you can feel like you're a slave to your terrain. So, for example, when I spend days building something like this, and my players walk up to it, they can't just be like, you know what? No, let's go back to the swamp and turn around and leave. Because A, it'd be kind of rude of them, and B, like, so we kind of have to be here. And like, as a terrain, investing so much into it, like, I constantly have to build, not only to post fun pictures online for community people, but once I build it, it's like, hey, well, now we got to play it, which means now the table belongs to the terrain until I can get the family together and we can do our games.
Yes, and that's why the building thing actually came around in our games. Now, like I said, sometimes I will pre-build when it's obvious. We already know the players have already determined what they're going to do. All that kind of stuff makes it much easier. But obviously, in a situation where you're sort of like, are they going to go here or not? Like you said, you'd spend 7 hours building something, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's go back to the swamp. That doesn't help, So, Adam, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul, please.
I was just saying, like, last week, my wife put her foot down. She's like, we have been traveling to the Barony for about 2 years now. And every weekend we get distracted with some village in trouble, or some, hag in the swamp, or some portal to hell out of nowhere. I just want to go to the Barony. So then you're like, okay, Roger, I hear you. I've gotten so excited by all the different things I want to build, and I've been ping-ponging you everywhere. Let's go to the Barony. And sometimes I'll have my kids. They'll work on their builds as well, and they'll run their own games off of it. And I can hand them a box of, like, say, Dwarven Forge. Like, this stuff is pretty rugged. Like, you can just beat the heck out of it.
Dwarvenite is amazing. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, Adam, any other questions in the chat real quick?
I've been watching it, and we've been pretty good on those. A lot of people commenting back and forth. They do want a new NPC, the Churka.
Yeah, now we get to do the Churka. Yes, okay. Maybe
specializes in chairs, maybe a mimic.
Yeah, maybe we'll
gotta
do
be a magic item.
Or a monster, right?
It's gotta be a magic item.
The Churka.
Or like a mimic that you put around your neck,
Yeah,
and it
oh,
actually
yeah.
it just chirps you.
It's a mimic assassin.
Yeah.
The Churka.
So I do have a couple close-up photos too.
Yeah, we want to show Paul. We want to show a couple pictures, and then we'll let you go, and we'll do some other things. And this has been magnificent. I really appreciate you and Todd and others who are putting up marvelous images in the Gooey Den and sharing your builds, and it's for me inspiring, and others as well. You can see with all the likes you get, so.
I do have one kind of tip that I'd like to leave some of the people.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, we're going to keep going. We're just going to talk about your stuff, but go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Sure. So last tip here is find other communities out there that intersect with ours. So for example, I found this at an aquarium store.
Yes.
I found this at I believe it's like a Hobby Lobby. They have sections for fairy gardens, because apparently old ladies back in the day used to love to build these little fairy gardens. And there's some good stuff in there that we as gamers can use. I went to a crystal mine in Arkansas and bought these little crystals that I could go ahead and just drop on my terrain, and it seamlessly builds in.
And so, Paul, you could put a little LED underneath that even, right? That thing could heat up a little bit, right? That's magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I will say too, earlier in the chat, somebody was asking what the crossover, or if there is crossover with like scale model train building.
I've used a lot of HO. HO scale train stuff through the course of the years. I've used quite a bit. So I completely agree. The little small, I think HO is more like probably 20 millimeter, maybe. I don't know exactly how the measures are, 22, something like that. But I've used a lot of HO stuff.
Yeah, that we have some Nerf herders agreeing HO's smaller scale, and then Strax Live says after Christmas sales are usually good times to find deals on little buildings and trees.
Very good. Yeah, very, very good point. And by the way, that's another wonderful thing about terrain made out of that Dwarvenite stuff, right? You see what just happened there with Paul's top two? You see that?
I did.
The whole roof goes off. It's no problem. Just put it back on, right?
Nerf herder does say too that O scale is a little bit bigger.
I actually have used O-scale stuff. The thing was that my father was a model railroader. So when he began this thing, when I was a kid, they had this wonderful model railroad in our basement.
That's why you're in a terrain.
I'm a weirdo, man. But it's okay. It's all right. So anyway, so he had a lot of HO stuff, and that's how it sort of began. But I've also gotten O-scale stuff as well, because I agree it is more appropriate to scale. So what's that there, Paul? Let's see that real quick. What do you got?
So this was actually a WizKids mausoleum. Like Dwarven Forge doesn't have like graves, and they have some sarcophagi in their old resin set, in their catacombs, and fences. So the WizKids it comes with catacombs, graves, and fences to make a graveyard. So a lot of times I'll buy terrain from different terrain companies and build it with the Dwarven Forge. So I'll have some dungeon tiles here.
Sorry, I apologize. The also nice thing for the hobby is, really, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not very artistic, okay? And my ability to paint miniatures is actually quite good. And the reason why is because I had some people teach me about shading and highlighting, and it really doesn't require that you be a really great artist. You can do cool things with it, and so it really makes for a nice hobby to be able to paint these things and do that. What you got there, my friend? What was that?
Just some terrain. I lifted up and decided to move around a bit. Maybe we'll put it in the. Here we go.
All right, let's show some pictures.
Sure thing. So just quick side transition here. So we had somebody ask in chat whether or not we have giveaways today. And you'll notice camera Mandy looks a little different. So she did not teach me how to actually run any giveaways. So unless Alphinius got something up his sleeve that's going to make Mandy's life really hard later, I don't think we have any giveaways today, unfortunately.
Well, I was going to do one, but I guess she didn't teach you how to do that. So we'll see if we can figure it out. There's supposed to be a hashtag thing you're supposed to do, but maybe maybe you text her.
Just have them mail a letter to the office, whichever one arrives first, right?
Whoever, I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea. We will wait, though. We are not going to announce it now, but yes, I have an idea.
Okay,
all right.
so we have
it
something
has to do with the chukka. Yes, the chukka. Yes, I have an idea about the chukka. All right, Paul, you still there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
here.
All right, so here we go. We are going to look at some pictures of a few things here. I want you to tell us about them because you gave us some beautiful stuff. All right, so here we go. And by the way, all y'all, I'm not looking at the camera because with Marvelous TV, I get to look at all this stuff, So if I'm not looking at you, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm looking at the TV to see this. Look at this. This is magnificent. This is
Awesome.
Shrine of Sasul or something. Yes, is right?
Yes, sir. So yeah, this was the Jade Antechamber mixed with, I believe it was a Zaltar's game room. It was just a basic mixing of dungeon and some of the limited edition Jade stuff. And this was one of my earlier builds, actually.
Beautiful.
Couple.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, there's another picture of it, yes. Oh,
so
wow.
this is the upgrade. I got a few more daises. I got some more dungeon spacing, a few more doors. And I tried to work on elevation, building it up. You see those two LED alcoves on either side? My camera, for some reason, decided to do something brilliant with the lighting there to get some, I don't know what you call like lateral god rays there. But yeah, it just turned out to be a beauty. And if you see in the back there, those are some more 3D printed fancy buildings from the Lycon set.
Beautiful. Yes, magnificent.
All right, this was built by my son. I believe it was Nathan who built this one. We were encountering she was a fairy sorceress who wanted us to try and break a curse that had inflicted her family line. So we climbed up a tower into her sanctum, and behind her was a glowing portal to an old elvish fortress that the party traveled to. So if you look at the front line of players there, that's basically my family game. My daughter plays a pixie druid. My third-born plays a halfling rogue. My second-born plays a human fighter. My first-born plays a dragonborn sorcerer. My wife plays a dwarven cleric, or Shalindra, and then I chip in as the Goliath barbarian.
Wow, very nice. Yeah. Tell your son that was magnificent. What a great build.
And all of our family sessions, most of them, I try to upload to YouTube, so they are available online, as well as some of the build videos of my my kids building their own builds and DMing their own. I usually like to keep them to 12 by 12, but sometimes we'll spread out a bit.
The limited edition marble. Yes, I know of this.
So this is a moral failing that you're observing right here. So Marble isn't available. It was limited edition Kickstarter only. You can't find it in the web store outside of a very limited number of special releases. So I actually went on eBay and I succumbed and threw an unreasonable amount of money here. But as you can see, and this isn't like this wasn't a deliberate build. This was literally me just playing with it out of the box to see what kind of interesting geometry I could make happen with it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
All right, yeah, similar build. This one was from Jeffrey, who took his turn with the dungeons on my third born. And basically, it was a cultist of Tharizdun who was trying to basically bring over some Far Realms creatures from the other side. And he had these elemental hands that he conjured. And I believe he had some orc bodyguards that we had to fight through before we could interrupt his ritual.
Yes, you can see them there, and then there's something going on in the back too, a little secret room area or something there.
Yes, sir.
Very, very nice. All right, well, let's do one more, Adam, and then we'll go to the next thing.
Ooh, one more. Okay, hold on.
Okay, we're gonna pick one
Find
more,
the
Paul.
best
and-
one.
Gotta choose a good one, Adam.
Off the top of your head, do you have? Oh, this one's pretty sweet, and it's gooey green, so we're going with it.
This is what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, now that's a build.
Oh wow,
So
I didn't even
there's
see
a lot
there's
going
like
on in this picture.
there's like a whole second page of pictures here. We have like 50 pictures we could have gone through here.
All right, well, while he's talking about this one,
Just start cycling.
just let's cycle through. So, Paul, we won't talk about every picture. We'll give people a chance to see some more of these. But you talk about this one. So keep this one in your mind as Paul talks, and then we'll kind of cycle through some other pictures. Go ahead, Paul.
So the party came upon a village that had been ransacked by orcs, orc raiders. So they went ahead and made their way up the mountainside to a temple to find out that the village was actually inhabited by Yuan-Ti, which are shape-changer snake people. The thing is, they decided to side with the Yuan-Ti versus the orc raiders because it was the women and children of the Yuan-Ti got taken into this serpent temple and were going to be sacrificed as a part of a dark ritual.
Hold on, go back
so-
there a second. So this is, Paul, what we're seeing right now, this is the same temple just from different angles. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So there's a
look
bunch
at that.
of LEDs in the corners, and this is the full Forsaken Temple Jade Special Edition set. I was able to pick it up after Gen Con, an amazing find. And I had a Fog Monster 2 set up. I don't believe they're in production anymore, so that was kind of a if you had one, if you got one, you got one. Now they no longer produce those. But the Fog Monster was getting some fog. I had a green ring light with a kind of a swampy dark background. So I had the LEDs going. I had the Fog Monster. I had a green ring light and just an iPhone, and I was able to make a lot of these happen.
Well, it's magnificent. Your builds, obviously, knowing what it takes to do these things, you have definitely spent some considerable time making them just really, really special. I mean, that is magnificent. That whole mountain scene there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Paul, do us a favor. Tell everybody if they want to check you out on your YouTube or stuff like that. Give them the where, the what for, that kind of thing. Will you do that?
Sure. So I have the number one place where I'm hanging a lot of these build pictures is on a website called Flickr, where you can put like different galleries. So I have it broken down by cavern, wilderness, mountain, dungeon, sewer. So that's a really good place to kind of see my whole portfolio of the different builds I've been making. On YouTube, you can Google Paul E. Hostettler. That's where all my family builds are located, or all my family YouTube videos of games are located. They're usually about 3 to 4 hours a piece, depending.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please. No, continue.
I'm really active on the Dwarven Forge Discord, and I have a presence on the Gooey Cube Discord every so often.
I always appreciate when you pop up, and I look at your stuff on the various other sites that you post things on, and I'm really appreciate you being a part of the community, and keep those pictures coming, because I guarantee you have one fan for sure in the Gooey Den, and you're talking to him right now.
Well, I mean, I definitely I love your responsiveness. Like I wouldn't be involved with Gooey Cube if you didn't put in as much, blood, sweat, and tears as you do to be here and to engage with the community. Because that's the best part about living in 2022 is you can reach out and you can talk to CEOs, you can talk to creative designers, you can influence product lines, you can help tailor a gaming experience and products that best serve your needs.
Yes.
So for that, I thank you.
Paul, it's my pleasure. This was the dream, right? The dream for Gooey Cube was, could we actually build a world, not just with 4 or 5 of us, in some, some room somewhere, but could we actually have the whole community help us? In fact, Paul, I don't think you are a member of the Contributors Guild, but you need to be, because right now,
Someday.
because right now we're literally doing places in the Zyathé, which is the underdark place, the underdelved place of Zyathé. And everybody can who participates, you basically take and write less than a one page of content. Basically a description, any strange monster or NPC that might be found there. You don't even have to stat it, right? A little lore and rumor about it. And then we give rewards for that are worth $15, $20 to everybody who we take their material and publish. So the world is growing, not just from a few people writing it, but our entire community, and that is something we find very, very special about Gooey Cube. So, all right, my friend, any last words for the Gooey people out there?
Stay passionate, stay motivated, love each other, help each other, and yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
It was great to have you, my friend. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see if maybe next year we'll bring you back, maybe after the next Dwarven Forge Kickstarter, when you and I are both broke again, yes?
Absolutely.
And we do have a few people in chat saying, thank you for sharing. This is beautiful. I will say, Nerdy King says, Alphinius, no cursing, my daughter is watching.
I will do my utmost, my friend. Thank you for letting me know.
No, you're a bit of a potty mouth.
I'm not a potty mouth.
I spent 20 hours in the car with you. You're a potty mouth.
And then one last question. I know I was skimming through the terrain really quickly. Strax Lives was asking what the UV terrain is. I don't recall which picture specifically that was, but...
It was under the black light.
Yeah, so you put it under black light, right? And it had some fluorescent paint that was on it. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes, sir. So the Dwarven Forge Underdoom line has the most amount of UV reactive paint for it, which if you're talking about, what is your version of the Underdark again?
So it's called the Zyathé, which is also called the Underdelve, or some call it the Far Deep. It's got a few sure. Names like most things, but yes, this is the Underdoom right here. Yes.
Yep, and I'm very passionate about Underdoom for Dwarven Forge. I've long advocated for, and recently we got a new core set of Underdoom pieces, and I'm constantly pushing them. Hey, and I'll do custom paint. So for example, that volcano, that's a custom paint scheme. That's something you can't necessarily buy.
Because you had it originally. It would have been the lava volcano that they offer, right? And it's LED.
Hellscape.
It's an LED light. Yeah, I have one of those, and I can tell. I was looking at it. I was thinking that is not the original paint job. So obviously you did some work there. It's magnificent. Yeah, it's pretty, huh? It's nice.
It is. You have this set. I remember. We used it at Gen Con.
Yes, I do. Yeah, in fact, I bought another one, and it, much to the chagrin of Ms. Goo.
She doesn't even know, man. All right.
Yes.
Just get your accountant to help hide it.
A secret card. This is what I need. A secret credit card. This is what I need to have.
Most people have this for affairs. You just have it for Dwarven Forge.
Yeah. Hookahs and drugs, right? I don't do any of those things. I just buy terrain, right?
And it's more financially crippling.
It's worse.
Do you have a time limit on those contributions that you were looking for?
We actually got another few weeks to go, like 3 or 4 weeks. So there's plenty of time. And if you just go to the Facebook and there's the rules that are pinned to the top. There's like 4 or 5 things pinned to the top. The rules that are up there tell you exactly how to join.
You can't do it right now, though.
On the Facebook.
You can't join the Contributors Guild right now.
Oh, that's true.
Because the website's down.
Because if you stay watching us, the website's down for a couple of days, and when we bring it back up, we're going with our big sale.
Okay.
But that's what Alexander's going to talk about in just a second here, so we can speak to that.
We'll try to get those up before we launch the new
But
website.
message me and I'll fill you in how to do it.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
I think you would love it. You know, the community is amazing. There are literally, if you open up, Carrie, you know this, right? So just lean in a little bit here, dear. There
Oh,
she
here.
is.
Hold
Say
on.
hello, Gary.
We might lose Gary's voice for a second. But
There we go.
All right. So have we lost? No?
Gary's still there. I just have to cut back and forth.
Oh, okay.
If we're not looking at him, he's muted. So
Got it. If we aren't looking at you, you're muted. So when we're not looking at you, you can say all kinds of things that no one will know about. So
Pretty
it's okay.
much. I mean, out of sight, out of ear, right?
So Magica, right? So go back to Carrie here real quick.
Oh, okay, hold on.
So bear with us, Paul. So Magica has like lots of people's contributions, right?
Like so many magic items,
Spells.
We've got essays in there, even
19 of them or something like that
something
from
like
characters,
that.
right?
A lot of people.
I even got to write one.
Yes,
They
you
even
did.
let me write one.
Yes, with a
I'm
little
surprised.
help from your friend. over
Yes,
there.
it's true.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they asked me back after West Verdestia.
All right, well, let us let Paul go, and let's do a little social media, and then we got a couple of other things. I want to do a Kickstarter update. I got a bunch of stuff to do, and I know we went a little long, but I hope everybody enjoyed that. Paul, magnificent, my friend, absolutely magnificent. Cut back to him real quick. Let him say goodbye. Would you do that, Adam?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and Paul, we're back at you, so you can say goodbye, and I'm hoping we can do this again. Would you be up for doing it again?
100%.
Marvelous. Next year, we got a bunch of things planned for next year. So you have a wonderful day. Are you coming to Gen Con again this year? So we'll see you there.
I would love to. I'm planning on it.
All right. Where you should come though, is you should come in February to Denver, and come to Genghis Khan. Genghis
Write
Khan.
that down.
Yes, you should. It is a marvelous little con. Donnie and Andrea they put it on. It is about 1,500, 1,700 to maybe 2,000, depending on the year. So it's not crazy. There's tons of gooey people that go, and it's just it's everything you want in a small con, right? It's lots of fun and games and all of that stuff, but it's small enough to be intimate, which is magnificent. It's just so fun. So think about it, will you?
Will do.
Genghis
And make sure
Khan.
you guys come down to Texas at some point.
Yeah, so
Gooey Cube
that's
is
the
welcome
next thing is
in the Lone Star
now,
State.
Is PAX South no longer? Did I hear that, or is PAX South in Dallas this year? Did I hear that, or next year? Sorry, next year. Excuse me, not this year. Do you know?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm just now getting back into the convention scene after being absent for years.
Well, counting the number of children, I can understand some distraction through the years. So.
Sure.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you. You
Thank you
have
so
a
much.
wonderful day, and
Appreciate it.
and we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Awesome. All right, back to the group.
All right, so I can just take these things out of my ears so I can actually hear.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually take mine out as well.
All right.
Far too many
Don't put those in your tea.
Yeah, I almost did.
Here, hand those to me.
Yeah, you take those, Alexander.
The wizard doesn't know how to use
Yeah,
technology.
there's
He's
all
a
kind of
wizard,
problems.
not
There's
an
like huge
artificer.
feet down below.
You do have massive feet.
I hope you don't like that. That was.
I wonder how you
magnificent.
drive,
Well, you got to be very careful because you can hit both pedals at the same time.
I'm surprised you don't.
Yeah, many things when you're driving. Like, certain signs.
Yeah, certain signs.
I was doing
Yeah,
pretty well
other
right
vehicle.
now.
You should take that turn pretty wide.
So, my friends, this is Alexander on my right, and this is Carrie on my left.
Completely new to the show, both of us.
Yeah, they've never been here before, as you all know. So many know, but Alexander came and joined us on our little technology team for our advertising agency that we do during the day, and also helps us moonlight on this night job. And then Carrie, because they are married, came along for the ride, but she's the one we really wanted, right? We like Alexander.
Exactly.
We love Carrie, right?
The only reason they recruited me is so that she could work for them.
So we are excited to talk about the website. So we'll start with you,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to Carrie,
Okay.
because you kind of tell us what we're doing. And then do we have any pictures, Adam, that we can show, or are we just gonna?
I think Mandy grabbed some.
I think
Yes.
she did. So check and see that. So Alexander can talk. So first of all, we need to
Absolutely.
give credit to the designers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So talk about
Stephen and Noah. They did a really good job. We kind of took this, task with all of us that work on Gooey Cube, and we went and looked at as many of our competitors' websites as we could find.
And even not competitors, right? Gamer websites.
Well, yeah,
all kinds
I'll
of
get
stuff.
there.
Okay, sorry.
You're jumping the shark there. And we found that none of them were applicable to what we wanted to do. They all felt, well, I mean, I'm going to cast a little bit of shade, but a little bit outdated. You know what I mean? They could use an update, a refresh. There were a couple out there, Warhammer, Catalyst Labs, that still look pretty nice. But as you can see up here, we took most of our inspiration from gaming stores such as Epic Games or the Sony store. And these are actually a little bit old because we've resolved some of these formatting issues that you're seeing right now.
Well, it's also a little squished because
it's very squished.
Always a little squished. They're not seeing it squished. We're just seeing it squished. So don't worry.
But yeah, but no, we
That's
really
Harry's miniatures, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell about that.
Yeah, so we managed to get in most of Harry's miniatures that are currently on, or I guess on the Gooey Cube website that's now shut. But we have those in there. You get a nice chance to look at the different pictures. There's a slider that you can rotate through with the different angles. We have a example, or rather the character art for the character that it is portraying or the monster it's portraying, so that you know when to get it and where it should be. It also comes up when you search for the Red Star Rising, so you'll get the pre-gens as well. Eventually, we want to go with bundles where you can buy the character folio and the mini together, so you can get all of your pre-gen or all of your player characters, their miniature and their character folio all together. We also have an update on how we're actually selling the products on the website. So we have quicker descriptors, as well as kind of like we've condensed the con pitch onto the web page itself. When you see it on there, it'll actually be laid out horizontally, not vertically like it's being shown.
So stay with that for a second, Adam, and tell us a little bit about this, Kerry. So Adam, you can't just lean in, because people can't see you, right? So this is not working.
Hi.
You know what we can do?
You can have my hands.
Can you spread us?
What I can do is I can just take Alphinius out of it.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
I love that.
There we go.
Magnificent. Now I can pick my nose, impunity, all that kind of stuff.
They'll see your hands go up. They'll know you're picking your nose. Hey, don't want boogers on my wife.
Help.
All right, Karen, what were you going to say? You were going to talk about the con pitch.
Tell us how we organize this so that people can really see what's in like a box set or in an adventure. Tell us about that real quick.
This is the overview of absolutely everything you get, and then you can scroll through and it'll tell you exactly what the GM references, exactly what the adventurers?
The adventure book.
Sorry, my brain is full of holes today. And it will tell you about the NPCs, the maps, all the handouts, the item cards, everything that you need to know. Like, it's got the information.
And it's really pretty, right? They've done such a good job of making it just magnificent.
Like when I first saw it, I was like, this is so cool.
Yes.
And we call it the con pitch because when we go to cons, we take out the box, we open it up, we take books out, we lay them side by side. It's like, this is what you get, this is what you get, this is how it works. And we've just put that on the website.
Yeah. And Mandy's videos, right? Camera Mandy's videos are up there, right? We got those.
Oh, yeah.
So we got that. And then
last night I was going through replacing Rick Astley everywhere because that was our placeholder video. So
that was not good. It was kind of weird.
Never gonna give you up, man. It's the best song you ever made.
I had it in my head for a couple of days. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, just checking the chat here too. So Misha Yuri really likes your hat, Alex.
Thank you.
So lots of props there.
It's kind of a Casey original, but Casey's is orange, right?
Casey's is orange.
So the two of you are kind of like sort of twins, right? When you go.
Well, we do get along very well. You know what I mean?
I have one too. Actually, that one's my one.
Yes, that's true. Mine has the blue center eye.
Well, you brought a different hat. You should put that on.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Because
I was gonna wear it, but the studio is very hot, so my head gets very itchy.
Yeah, but that's a cool hat right there. Yeah,
Carrie has a much cooler hat than
Do you think my hat's cool?
Yeah.
Would you like to wear it?
Wear it.
It's very warm. You'll find out quite quickly.
As I have said, I don't mind hats. It's just I don't like hat hair. Right, hat hair, right? This is the problem. And what you said as well is very hot, right?
Kim, before too long, you won't have to worry about hat hair.
No, it's going slowly but surely. Yeah, slowly, but hopefully it'll hang in for a little while longer.
Shadowborn also says the new page setup looks amazing.
Thank you. Yes, indeed.
Nerf Herder says Hatters Unite. And Misha Yuri says I need that hat too.
Yes, I know. Don't you need that hat? This is magnificent. Yes. So okay, so tell us about timing. Will you do that, Alexander? What are we doing right now? And then I'll talk
So
about the sale.
right now we're finishing off most of the minor changes, making sure all the products are updated, getting in our bug reporting form. So if you go on there and there are products that you were supposed to have that you don't, please submit a bug report. We will make sure you get those products. If you find any errors with the website, same thing. We're just basically quashing smaller bugs like that. We're putting up our banners that are detailing all of the information in our sale, which is quite dramatic. There's a huge sale that's ongoing, massive discounts.
Between 10% even on bundles, right? So
Yep.
we have the bundle price and then 10-15% on
Well,
bundles,
and the
right?
bundles are even to a degree more discounted because they're still a better deal than buying the items individually.
Yes,
So
yes,
you get quite the discount when you buy stuff that's bundled. And overall, like we repriced a lot of the things so that they're now a much better deal in many cases.
We have new bundles too.
Yes,
we
we
just put them up.
revamped our bundles, and they are, as I said, much more competitively priced than our old ones. Our old ones sometimes were very razor thin savings, but these ones give you a consistent amount that you're saving on every bundle.
We did math.
Yes, we did. We looked at our production cost. We looked at our shipping cost. We assessed how much we need to make to keep Gooey Cube open, and then kind of give you guys a good deal with that. So we hope you guys like that. We also, for the very first time ever, are putting a discount on custom portrait. It's not a huge one, but it is you get quite a nice discount there, and it's the first time ever. And I mean, we don't make any money on that at all. So you can essentially have us pay you to have your own portrait done.
Yeah, when the portrait thing really is part of the community thing, right? We pay more than half typically. It depends on the artist, right? But more than half of the price that we sell it for anyway goes to the artist. Then we have to produce the materials, we have to do all that stuff, and we have to coordinate the thing of it. So really, there's not much profitability on portraits, but it's something we're very committed to, because it lets so many of our friends be a part of the world. I mean, I can't even wait. I think Keith is watching today. I haven't talked to Keith, and just talked to him last night, which was great. I can't wait for you when you open the Dark and Haven box, or the Gloom port. We're still debating where we're putting these various characters. You're going to meet Grayson Lador, right? You're going to meet Captain Catway,
Exactly.
right? These various marvelous characters that are, there's just so many that have been Zareen, right? Which is Pamela's character, right? There's just so many that you're going to meet Rick Ankney's and Tommy Rice's characters. You're going to meet, in fact, we've already met Harry's character. I mean, there's just so many that 200 or something like that. Right?
You know what we need to do on the portrait page is we need to make a little thing to remind people that, hey, you can buy this as a gift, because that's what I've done with a couple of portraits is having them done of other people as a gift, because once you have a portrait done for yourself, I mean, you can't really try to recreate perfection after that. So, especially in my case, right? Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'll tell you this too, that one of the most touching things that we've ever done since we did Gooey Cube was we have, I believe, 4, might be 5 people, I don't remember, I have to think about this, who their families had their portraits made after they had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it is magnificent to have them memorialized in the weirded world like that. And this is the thing that is so. This is why people talk about our products are great. We're fun people. All that stuff. The greatest thing about Gooey Cube is the community. There's
Absolutely, hands down.
Nothing better. Right?
By far.
Nothing better. Nothing better.
We have about 5 minutes left on the clock. We
Yes,
do still have
yes,
social media if you want to do that.
Yes.
And I think I figured out Moobot. So
really?
maybe
You're gonna
not.
end up giving
So
away
maybe-
like thousands
okay.
of dollars and stuff.
Yeah, so hypothetically, if Gooey Cube goes out of business because I gave away all the money, that's not my fault.
So Gooey Cube was not giving away a lot of money today. So all of you who want to give away, it's not going to be money. I still think I want to do my thing, but just give us a couple minutes. So why don't we do this? Because I want to do a Kickstarter update real quick.
Absolutely.
And I want to talk with Kerry real quick about Chapter 5 and Legends, Lore, and Libations.
Yeah, no rush on my
Why don't we
end.
just hold the social? We'll do the same social media next week because we spent a lot of time with Paul. Did everybody like that? If you really like that in the chat, let us know. Just put a little note in there in the chat because I'd like to do more of that kind of stuff as well. I'm also talking with Stefan Pokorny because they're going to be doing their Kickstarter pretty soon. I'm hoping to bring him on the stream so you all can talk to him from Dwarven Forge. That'd be fun, huh?
Oh yeah.
He's one of my heroes. He got really kind of dissed in the art community for you not being a great sculptor, right? He got kind of dissed by people, right? And he was making it, no, this is his story. He would tell you this. And people treated him kind of badly, right? And here he does and makes this magnificent terrain and really changes the trajectory of the game.
And now he's making almost certainly far more money than any of those people. I mean,
Probably
I don't
so,
think the
right?
job prospects for a sculptor are all that great. You know what I mean?
We are getting a lot of love for Paul in the chat, so
Wonderful,
they
thank you.
absolutely enjoyed that. And a couple people are saying, "Go long, go long."
All right,
but
we'll go,
you know,
yeah, we'll go long.
always do.
But we always do a little bit. We won't go too long. I
Kimbo,
promise.
this football field has a limit. you're gonna be out of bounds at some point. You know?
I have to
All
put
right.
another quarter into the StreamYards. Or something.
Exactly.
So real quick, all right, here we go. I want to make sure everybody knows this. So we are in, Carrie, chapter 5, right? We
So
are-
close.
Yeah, we are. I'm going to go home and do final edits
Yep.
on the adventure book tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sending it back to you
Yep.
and AJ and Hannah because I'm going to go visit with Diane's, Ms. Goo's, Dianea Goo's mom and dad.
Yep.
But it's not just that, right? It's also Legends, Lore, and Libations. Right?
That also very close.
All right, tell us about both of them, real quick, just real quick.
Well, chapter 5's just. we're going to go over it on Monday, and I'm pretty sure it would be very close or actually done
Yeah, we
Monday.
got a couple
We're
portraits.
gonna put it up on the
right? We got a
website.
couple portraits to put up. We got to number the handouts. I know that.
Proofread.
Proofread.
But I'll get through that pretty quick. You know me.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very
And
close.
chapter 4, just so everybody knows, chapter 4 leads into chapter 5.
Chapter 4 is
And
really cool.
right, and yeah, we're at the haunted house, right? Which
Yeah.
is a very different thing, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you find out there's a whole lot more going on down there.
There's a whole. I don't want to say too much
You
about
just
it.
spoiled it.
I don't want to say too much about it, but oh my god, I was reading through it and I was just like, oh, I cannot wait to get down into this dungeon because it's like old school stuff.
And that's why we're playing Tales from the Yawning Portal now.
Yeah, because you needed a break, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
it's-
no, she wanted to do Dungeoneering, so she suggested Tales from the Yawning Portal.
Which is magnificent, really is well done.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I was supposed to play in that game, but no, I'm game mastering it.
You know what?
Hey man, you know what I mean? I could run a module. You know what I mean? That's not a problem.
All right, so tell us about Legends. So Keith wrote
Yes.
Legends, Lore, and Libations, and you
it's so
edited it. Yes,
cool.
tell us about it.
It is so cool. It's like this travel log, and as I was going through proofreading it, I was really, really enjoying the story, and I was just like, "This is awesome!" And you start off, you go through the Republic, so you start off here, and you're traveling around, and he's just visiting a bunch of places, and there's little stories that come out of that. He finds some traveling companions, and it's just. I had so much fun editing that, and
It's
that's not always the case.
Well, Volo, Volo's guides, right? We all remember the old people like me. I don't know if you all remember Volo's
I've read
guides.
Volo's guides.
But I used to read Volo's guides for fun. That was
Oh,
my
yeah, of course.
recreational reading, was Volo's guides.
I mean, you're a nerd, so it makes
I
sense.
am a geek.
We're
It's
both
all right.
nerds.
It's-
That's why we're here this morning.
With that hat on, that puts you to extra nerd. You and Casey.
I think you're nerdier because you're not wearing a hat.
No.
Yes,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
But I
That's
will
how
do
that
it.
works.
One day, I will do it for charity. When we can raise some money and help some people, we'll do it.
$10,000 charity.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do something fun. We'll do
Send
something
us
fun.
hats.
Someday.
We'll
Someday.
Put loads of hats on.
Exactly.
the size of the hat will be directly proportional to the size of
To
the
the size
donation.
of
The number of the
donations.
hats.
Yes, that's right.
There we go.
So they basically travel, take
Yep.
to a lot of places that you haven't heard of in
Yep.
the Republic, right? And Keith did a great job with that.
Oh, yeah, and I think, I'd say it's our first novel, really.
It really is.
Yeah, because it reads like a story. And that's also very close. That just needs a few captions for pictures, which we're doing sketches.
Yes.
And then we just need the front cover, and it'll be done.
And so that's our goal, is to get that out here in December, published, actually printed. So that's our goal with chapter 5. That's our goal with Legends, Lore, and Libations. Then we're going to do a 2 thing. Carrie is going to kind of take the lead on Darkenhaven. And AJ is going to take what Marvelous John has done in creating The Dead in Fallow, which is a magnificent adventure and feeds into a greater lore about the Vile Desolation, which I know is near and dear to your heart.
I know, I'm excited. I've already read that. I've already read The Dead in Fallow.
That's
Oh,
good.
I'm excited.
It's all right. I'll talk to AJ about it.
Yes, so that
Yeah.
will mean that all we will have left is the Gloomport and the Glooming Doom to finish the Kickstarter. And thank you all for your patience with us as we went through this. I hope you all are still loving all the stuff we're producing. We are not compromising on quality. We're not compromising on material. Wait till you open up Dark and Haven. It's going to blow your mind. Now, we are going to do something in January. I think we're going to do a Kickstarter for Guys and Gax. So the Tomb of Guys and Gax is going to be a collaborative project between Luke Gygax and us. And we are going to flesh out the first part of this magnificent place that is called Geisengox, that is really an homage to Gary. And we are really, really excited about it. We've already shown a couple pieces of artwork, and we think that we're going to reach out to everybody who we still maybe owe the Gloom port to if we haven't quite finished with that. And if anybody has any objections, we'll do something for them. But I think our community has been so good to us. We don't think anyone will care that we want to raise a little money and help be able to pay some people and get some things done. So that's what we're probably going to do in January. And then hopefully in that first part of the new year, we're going to be getting close on Darkenhaven and the Glooming Doom and finish that thing off. And so then maybe, somewhere around March, we might do another one and then see what happens, because we have to finish Geisengox by GaryCon. So it's going to be a quick turn on that. So anyway, thank you all for this marvelous support you have given us and for being a part of this. Thank you all for all of the things that you do and for helping us to go forward, because we couldn't do it without you. It's just the truth, and so we hope that we next year will bring some more and very interesting and fun things for Gooey Cube, not the least of which is, I hope, Sundestia.
Oh, yeah.
I've been excited about that for a long time.
I have one last thing with the website.
Oh, yes.
So thank you to all of our coworkers who yesterday really stepped up, and they helped find a bunch of bugs and take a lot off our plate when we had some very important client work to tackle. And we were able to basically stay on target instead of being knocked, 20 hours off target. So
I think everybody needs cake.
Yeah.
So for cake.
So I think that
I don't turn down.
I think we should get a Gooey Cube cake from
Allie.
Yeah, from Allie.
You've seen
Absolutely.
So
I know she makes wonderful cakes.
I'm actually hoping she will do one for Genghis Khan.
Well, maybe she can do one for the office as like a trial run and a reward for the website launching. I'm just saying, Gooey Cube
it's
or
work that poor kid, to make it.
Well,
cakes.
pay her.
Well, I do.
Buy the cake. No, buy the cake from her.
I do.
There you go. Yeah, I know you pay her, but I mean pay her. Buy the cake from her.
Wolfgen says go team, and Straxliv says got to test out that recipe.
It was really, the last one was red velvet. It was a red velvet Gooey Cube. It was fantastic.
Gosh,
It was so good.
Yeah,
Red and
it was our
green,
wedding
very
cake,
Christmassy.
red velvet.
Yeah, we had red velvet wedding cake. It was fantastic.
Had a layer of chocolate fudge in it. It was so good.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
All right, my friends, this is all I got except for the giveaway.
All right, we'll see if it works. So
you want to do this, huh?
we're going to try it and see what happens. So I have currently the giveaway description is the Churka.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Here's how this is going to work.
That is not the hashtag, to be clear.
So
Churka.
first of all, you can win something right now, but if you want to win something better, you can win a second thing. Here's how we're going to do this.
Uh-oh.
All right, you ready for this?
I don't know if it's going to work this time.
First of all, they got to put in hashtag Churka. How are we spelling that, Carrie?
CHERKA is how I have it.
Churka, is that okay with you?
And not
I was
yet,
thinking
because
more of an I, but this will be fine.
All right. CH, he's already done it.
it's not started yet, so nobody put hashtags just yet, because we're not ready.
So you're going to put in this don't do it yet. You're going to put in hashtag Churka, CHER. Does that have to be a capital C or is anything like that?
I have it as all lowercase currently. Let me just hit the create
Keep
button.
it all
All right,
lowercase.
don't put it in yet.
Oh.
So hashtag CHERKA. That's the first way. Now, the MooBot will select one of you. All right? You will get a piece of artwork depicting the Churka. Okay? That's what you're going to get. Now, the second winner, we're going to put this up probably later today, will be in the Gooey Den. So that's on Facebook, so you got to be on Facebook. The opportunity for you to, in that post, describe what you think the churka is, okay? And this little squad right here of the three of us plus Adam, camera Mandy does not get to participate. She was not
no
here.
participation.
You cannot allow her to participate, Adam. You are the one who gets to
In
choose.
fact, she's not allowed to see these things.
Yeah, she can't even see them, all right? So we will, the four of us, will pick a winner, and if it's close and we've got like three that we really like, we'll roll dice to pick
Three?
one. This could happen.
You didn't even assume two. You just went straight to
Listen, I
three.
know how this
Or
is.
maybe five.
Yeah.
Real quick,
It could be 10.
As
what's
of
up,
right
Adam?
now, the thing is live, so everybody hashtag CHERKA. If
All
you
right.
did it already
Churka.
and it's before me saying this right now, you weren't entered, so do it again.
Do it again.
Just do it
C-
2, 3, 4 times.
CHERKA, right?
Yep.
All right, so that will win you the artwork, and then what we will do is we will pick from the people who put up in the Gooey Den. You don't have to be watching today. Anybody who does that, the description of their churka, we will execute that. We will provide you also with a custom picture of the artwork of the monster that you created, and we will put that monster in the Cyclopedia Monstrica for
course.
Verdestia
Yeah.
next year. How does that sound? Is that a good
Sounds good,
idea?
yeah.
That was a good idea.
I like it a lot.
Yes, this is why I am the Goo. That's what
I
they call
love
me.
how these
No.
things come out of like this show. and
Exactly.
Facebook, the Catigator.
The Catigator.
Stuff like that.
Kim-
Someone was discussing that the other day, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alphinius.
Oh, we have a new first-time
Alphinius.
we have a new first-time chatter. His name is, or his or her name is Date Night Dice.
Nice. Did Date Night Dice win?
No, they are a first-time chatter, but I'm at 25 entrants right now. I'm just waiting to hit the button. We're at 25. We have 35 on the stream, so I'm giving.
Hashtag CHERKA. Churka, right? That's what it is. All right, so this is the thing. So Carrie has now made up a monster that someone else is going to actually make up. Does that make
Perfect.
sense, right? This is magnificent, right? This is the way it
When
works.
are we deciding,
Collaboration.
So
Alphinius?
first we got to put it up. We'll probably give at least a couple days to give people a chance
Yeah, of
to
course.
put up, right? And not super long. Let's not, let's not do 14 pages of the churka, right?
So-
it's a couple paragraphs. That's it.
Next
right?
Goo Morning or the one after?
We will definitely tell it on the next Goo Morning because you'll have a few days to put it up in there.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so next Goo Morning we will select.
So you should probably have those in by Friday at the latest.
No, we're going to put up the.
Oh,
it'll be
okay,
on
okay.
it'll be
So
on
they'll
the
have 2
Facebook.
weeks?
No, it'll be on the Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Just
giving.
put the post right in there. They write it in the post. They
I'm
don't
giving
even have to
30 more
submit it.
seconds.
Yeah.
30 more seconds
30
for
more
entrance.
seconds on the entrance. All right, so there
Excellent.
you go.
30
All right,
more
so
seconds.
30 more seconds. I'm going to kill the time with the 30 more seconds. Thank you, friends, for joining us and for making these Saturday mornings wonderful. We've been doing this a long, long time, and we still have a great time with it. Adam,
Yes.
we will all, the three of us will give you a little hand. In
Oh,
the
thank
chat.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Very,
done,
very,
Adam.
We appreciate you very, very much for helping. Alexander and Carrie, thank you for joining us. You are
course.
magnificent.
Anytime.
Our pleasure.
And for all of you who hang out with us on Saturday mornings, we are better than Saturday morning cartoons because Saturday morning cartoons generally are stupid.
All right, here we go. I'm going to hit the
That
draw button.
announcement is being done. Here it comes, the draw button. Here it goes. Go, Adam.
Is going to Kintori.
Yay! All right. Now remember, you still have a chance to win because you got to put in the Gooey Den what your description of a churka is, and then we will judge. The four of us will judge, and if we can't decide amongst 2 or 3 or 4 of them or 10 of them or however many it is, we will do a random dice roll. How is that? Does that sound good?
Yeah. Also, if you didn't, win the art of the churka, you can buy Monstrica and get
Yeah,
the
you
art
just-
anyway.
When we finally
So,
get that
Wait, we haven't
out.
done that yet. We're going to kickstart that next year, right?
And I believe Kintori has won a couple times, so her information's already in. But for all of you who are interested in potentially winning prizes in the future, there's a web page that I don't have memorized. but-
GooeyCube.com
Nope.
/
Not
No,
there.
Just don't do it right now.
Don't do it right now, but
Just wait a
when-
couple of days.
once we relaunch the page, it's what?
It's GooeyCube.com /
It won't be there either.
Oh, okay. So
prizes. Prizes.
It'll be shop.gooeycube.
Okay, listen. Don't do anything. Come next week.
We'll post in
figure-
the
because
Facebook where
do-
you should
We
register.
do giveaways pretty much fairly regularly on the stream, and so a lot of people win cool things, and we enjoy that, and it's all part of the whole experience. So
We'll
the point-
post on all social medias the updated places where you should go. But
the point being is that there is an extra step because we need to know your real life identity. We need to know where to
Yes.
send the stuff. We can't just
yeah,
you know,
because
Yeah.
these handles, right? People put in handles, and they bail out of the stream. We have no idea who they are, right? So we can't do that. So anyway, all right.
you have
so,
us send it to at Kintori, like just send it to the post office. Be like, Kintori, please.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They don't even know. All right, go back to us, and we're going to finish this off. All right, ready, friends? Thank you all. You have been marvelous. Adam, you're in this. May all your adventures
Be sticky.
Ha ha! Bye bye.